Hello everyone, this is Omega, and today I'm going to bring to you guys a different type of video, and I know some of you have been asking about it. Oh God, Freddie. This is an altar tour. I know some of you have been asking about altar placements and all that. Freddie, stop it. So I'm not really showing myself in this video. I'm showing basically my altar, especially for this one that I made for the 13th of yesterday, Friday the 13th, and our full moon, and a ritual I did last night. I'll be doing it for 2 more days. So these are the roses that I started with in my rose water. And I will go into that a little bit later. I just thought I'd open up with something that was pleasing to the eye. But let me get my instructions here. This new year coming for actually a lot of people. In January is not always, the new year for everybody. And I'm just going to give like a little quick glance at my stuff here. And of course Freddie has to take my seat, so I don't get to sit down anymore. Right, Freddie? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, basically this harvest moon is coming and Samhain is coming. And to me, the beginning of the year feels more like spring and the end of the year feels more like, fall or winter. Freddie, that's enough. Stop it. Shush. I'm not talking to you. Okay. So, in lots of cultures, in Judaism, there's the new year called Rosh Hashanah, and that's in, September, October time. In January, to me, never felt like the new year. I don't exactly feel renewed in January, if you know what I mean. But there's different ways of looking at things. In the Persian culture, they have their New Year is called Nowruz, and I have some dear Persian friends of mine, and they were nice enough to make a feast for all of us. And I went through the fire. That you jump through the fire and wish for whatever in your new year, but just to give you an idea of the different ways of just kind of looking at things. I'm just going to start right now, and let's see. Yeah, I'll just start with, Freddie, stop it. It's annoying. I don't have the salt with me, but this is the secret smudge oil from Sugar Muses I got. So since Friday the 13th was a work night for me, I get off at midnight. I went home and I took used the salt to basically just wash the day off of me. And I think it's really important before you meditate or you do anything like that, any kind of work. So after that, I used the secret smudge oil. Doesn't say what's in it. I forgot what was in it. So after I kind of towel dried off and I put this on instead of my regular moisturizer. Okay. You're on film now, okay? Are you happy? Okay, stop it, Freddie, okay? Give me a break. Just give me a break. Just be cool, okay? We'll play later. But, I have work to do. You just need to be patient. Oh, God. Okay, so I put this on afterwards, after I do my salt bath. I think it's really important to, get yourself prepared. These here are matches that I got online. And this is Aleister Crowley. And I got these off of Amazon. You can find them. And I prefer the long stick matches instead of just like the regular match, those cheap ones. It just seems more substantial to me. And then of course, before you start anything, I smudge the place. And this was from the Witch's Moon a few months back. I really like this because it's bigger than the regular shell that I had. So this sage bundle looks like it's pretty done. But I use them until the bitter end. So I start off with that. You know, I smudge the place. And those are just basic things I do for everyone that I'm doing. But then, you know, whatever work that you're doing depends on what time of year, or, you know, what your aim is. So I'll start from basically the altar itself. Since this was a full moon ritual, I used this sphere, which we got from the Witch's Moon a couple months ago, which was, I think, the most amazing box we've had. It's got a little stand underneath it. And then here is the selenite wand. I mean, this came in the same box. It was amazing. So I have my selenite wands here. Fluorite one. And this is the onyx or black tourmaline. I forgot which one it was. And this obviously is the amethyst one. And this stand I got for 50 cents at the Goodwill. It was Pink Tag Day. So everything was 50% off. So just letting you guys know that you don't really have to spend a lot of money on your things. Yes, you know, these things are expensive, but if you buy these boxes, you can, you know, over time, I mean, you can get a lot, you know, for your money. That's a good way of saving. And, you know, you don't have to have all these things. You know, I mean, don't get the idea that we have to have all this stuff. It's all about your intention and how you know, try to manifest things and pay attention to the universe and your spirit guides and your angels. It's less to do about stuff. But once you start to get the stuff, you know, it's nice to have and it's nice to use. But yeah, don't feel like you have to go all out and spend all this kind of money on this stuff. A lot of, you know, this stuff here is over years of collecting, a lot of it. This one is a collection from quite a few years ago. Okay, Freddie, just be cool, okay? Just sit down, okay? Just be cool, sit down, okay? Just sit down, I'm right here, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, he's so needy. Okay, stop it. Okay, so here's my altar here, at least for last night. And this, if you guys remember, was one of the cards we got from Sugar Muses. And this was the yellow aventurine. Oops, yellow. And then the conglomerate jasper, I believe, is here. And this was the honey calcite I used as well. And of course the clear crystal. That's beautiful. Love it. And so what I do, this is the reflections candle, just basically reflecting on this year and, you know, clearing away things that don't serve you anymore, old ways of thinking, patterns that get stuck in your head that don't serve your higher self, you know. So it was a way of reflecting for me and to start new beginnings, things like that. And this, I use the stick incense. I usually use the loose incense too, but I think this time I just used this stick incense here. And before I start any kind of work, I do divination. And divination is just getting close to spirit. And with me, it's the pendulum. So this is the pendulum that I use. Also, I believe from the Witch's Moon. Oh, it has one-handed. Oh my God, come on. And, you know, just to start to ask questions. I'll do more videos on these things individually later if I can. And this is the plate. So I start off with, after I cleanse myself and all that, you know, smudge myself, whatever, take a shower or salts, I do the divination after I use the sage. And I light a candle for spirit, which is another thing I want to get into. You have your working candle or candles. It can be white, it can be, you know, what, white, or just basically anything for illumination. This was left out from last night. This is for spirit that I use. So I always leave one for spirit. And for you, or for anyone, I mean, it's spirit, your angels, the universe. You know, in the Wiccan religion, people use Lord and Lady, or God and Goddess, where they will have, you know, one side of the altar will be, you know, like the sun, and the other side will be the moon. And I think it's a great way. I think it's great, and I think it's also for people who end up like me, a great way to start, you know, just to learn, because I cannot underestimate the contribution of the Wiccan, you know, movement and religion in, you know, modern occultism today, the way it's known, and when people get introduced to it. So, you know, much respect there. And then, of course, you know, I use this bell to clear things out, and we just got this recently. I'm using a lot of recent stuff, actually, for this working. I do have a lot of stuff, but for some reason, I used a lot of recent stuff for this, you know, working, you know, honoring the moon. And this was just so special that, you know, I wanted to make sure, even though I was like super tired after work, I had to start this. So it was really important to me that, you know, that you just take your time with it. You know, the selenite was very important because of the moon. And the crystals and stones, I went through that, and the divination. Some people use tarot, that's fine. I think ultimately I will do the tarot instead of the pendulum. Pendulum is really simple. You don't have to really study or anything. If you really want to get started with divination, learn meditation. And it's not as easy as it sounds, meditation. It takes time, but you'll get there. And then start with your divination, whether it be tarot. Tarot I need to really learn, so I want to spend more time learning it before I actually do it. And this right here is my Cascarilla powder, which is basically, this is an old skincare bottle that I cleaned out and smudged. And that's another thing. Before you start anything, always smudge not just your area, but your tools, your things that you'll be touching. So I cleaned and smudged and blessed this. And this is basically crushed up eggshells that I had. And maybe I'll do a video on that too. So this is very good at protection. And so I use this as well. That I made myself. At least at some point I'll get a better looking bottle, but oh well. You know, it's what you use. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything. You know, it doesn't have to. And in fact, some of this I found at the Goodwill and thrift shops. Like these candlestick holders here, they were $1 each at the Goodwill. These pewter ones. And these candles here were, I got 2 of them and they were 25 cents. So, you know, just go to the stack where they have a bunch of candles. Some of them are already wrapped. These were wrapped individually. So they were 50 cents, and then it was Pink Tag Day, and they were 50% off. I think I got this for $1.99 once. And then this is also, I got this at, I think it was a consignment center, couple bucks. So you really, I mean, especially with candle holders, do not, I repeat, do not pay retail for candlestick holders, because in almost any area, at least in the United States, I can't, you know, speak for the UK or Europe or Australia. You know, they may have their thrift stores as well. But here in the States, do not pay $20 for a candlestick holder. Unless you absolutely love it, then I can understand. But just don't. I think I got this from a thrift store too. Let's see, it's all black with the candle stuff. I never blow out my candles. I either use a snuffer or I just, use my fingers and do that with it. Either or. It doesn't really matter. Just try not to blow on them. So, and here's another one here. This I got for almost nothing at the Goodwill. A lot of candle. Here is a candle stand, but I just put the crystals on it. I don't want them on the, we want them elevated a little bit. At least I did. I thought it had a better presentation. This here is from, I think it's either Midnight Muses or the Witch's Roots. It's a little cauldron. I know I get made fun of because the way I pronounce things. But oh well. And this is what came inside it. And to me it looks like little bird's eggs. So I just kind of left what looked like a nest in here just for decoration. This linen runner that I have is when I went on vacation with a really dear friend of mine, and there were lavender fields. So I got this running table runner that has bees and lavender and Freddie. And here are just some of the boxes I've done recently. You're putting your butt on my instructions, Freddie. So, yeah, so I just collect things. This I normally have, and you can pretty much have your altar anywhere, anywhere. So far I have really big altars. Small altar spaces aren't, enough for me, for all the stuff I want to do, Freddie. But I just happen to use my kitchen table for now until I can find, I have a spare room, but I haven't really set it up yet. And I have little mini altars. But for my working space right now, I'm just basically using my kitchen table, and it's working perfectly fine. And I'm by myself. It's just me and Freddie here, so I don't have to share my place with anyone. But you are quite a roommate to have, Freddie. You know that? And this lavender sachet here, I got also when I went on vacation with my friend. And this sprig also of lavender I bought there as well. So I just permanently just kind of keep that. It's not really an altar thing, even though it may look like one. It's just something for my vacation that I have. And these here, I use a lot of black candles. So I just put them in this tin that I got from the Goodwill. And then it's got the Rings of Saturn. I just happened to have that on there. I don't know why. I think I got that for 50 cents. And just, my black candles that I use. This is an X-Acto knife, and I use this to inscribe candles if I need to. So I just kind of put it all together. My Sharpie to write petitions. This is actually funny. It's a pen, but I got this from this is the Wicked Witch of the West, and this is from the Wizard of Oz Museum in Wamego, Kansas. I actually went there, property of. No, I really bought this, so I didn't steal it. It just looks like it belongs there, but I bought it like this, so I thought it was kind of cute, so I keep that in here. This here, I just keep like extra smudges and stuff. This is supposed to be a hanging cauldron, whatever. But it came broken. I think it was from Kitchen Witchery, and I gave a couple reviews on that. I wasn't exactly happy about that box or Box of Shadows, even from that. But so I just stick, the extra smudges in here in case I need them. This right here is, we just got this from Sugar Mooses, and I forgot to put it away actually, but so I just happen to have it lying there. This right here, these are mala beads. I didn't use these last night, but I have used them. And these are 108 beads, which in Indian, culture, you say something 108 times, kind of like a mantra. and I use this sometimes, for self-empowerment, for, connecting, I also connect with my, angels that guide me, and just, to kind of reinforce, like, affirmations, things that are good in life and things that are good about other people as well. These are crystals that we got recently, and this is the desert blooming. It's a selenite, but it's a different form of it. It looks like a desert. It almost looks like a tumbleweed. And of course, this is another candle holder I got from the Goodwill. How much was this one? Kohl's. It says $12.99, but there was another sticker that was $1.99. So they must have got this from Kohl's originally. There's no way I'm going to pay $12.99 for this. No way. And just the other night, I found this, you won't believe this, at the Goodwill. A pewter, this was $1.99, and this wasn't on sale, but hey, for $1.99. And I leave this as an offering, and this has the wine in it. And so I left it out from last night. And it's important to leave offerings. And I've read water is always a good thing to have. I got this for like 50 cents. And this is, hexagram or Star of David, what have you. And here I have the water. And I leave that out. And this here is the altar table. I'll take these things off, that we got recently. And I use this not as a working altar so much, but as an honorary one to spirit and angels and, my ancestors, anyone or any, spirit that is benevolent and wants to help, who, chooses to help or just join me. And this here is my rose water that I made from these roses. And I'll tell you a story about how I got these roses sometimes. Really, really interesting, actually. Really, really eerie. But I made this moon rose water from it. And I mixed it with some vodka that helps as a preservative. So I leave this out. My first night was last night, or early this morning, until about 4:30. I left it out in the moonlight, and I have two more nights to go. And I know it's kind of gross, but I had steak last night, and so I made a choice cut as an offering. And I'm going to throw this out after I film this and give this to the animals. And then I'm going to, I might leave this because I'm still charging it, and then I'm eventually going to pour it out to the ground, but this is an offering as well. And then tonight I'll pour this out and refill it with fresh. Never leave out old stuff on your altar, whether it's for your ancestors or what have you. That's not nice. I'm sure you wouldn't want to be given 6-day-old water. That's disrespectful. So, respect your ancestors, respect your spirit guides and your angels, or whatever it is that you're connecting to. Just have some respect. This is my own. This is actually from the Avon collection from years and years. It was called their Cape Cod collection, and I got this with a bunch of other plates, dessert plates, dishes, bowls, even a bell. I think it was like $36 for this huge set, and it usually goes on Craigslist for a lot more. I just happened to get lucky that day, and I saw that, and it hadn't been sold for 3 months at this consignment store, so it was, I think, 15% off the $36. I got it for almost nothing. So that's what I put my wine in. And the wine that I use ceremonial wine, and this stuff is the bomb. This is Manischewitz Concord Grape, and you can buy it at pretty much any grocery store. And it's a kosher wine that's used in Judaism as on there. We have Sabbaths, they have Shabbat. I often wonder if they're derived from the same thing or similar word, but it's very sweet, and I don't like bitter wine, so this is perfect. So how much percent alcohol? No less than 51% Concord. That's the great part. I don't know about the alcohol. So it's kosher for all you those that keep kosher. So that's what I use for my ceremonial wine. And let's see what else. And as I mentioned, this was my Reflections candle. And I'm probably going to use that again tonight just to reflect on my year. And dressing your candles for the oil, I have road opener oil here. I decided to use it. I have a bunch of oils and I've collected a lot, especially from the Witch's Moon, but I've also bought my own from other places. And you know, I want my road to be open. I want the obstacles to be removed. And whenever, you know, there's a full moon or, you know, some kind of work that I'm doing, I like to use this type of oil. And that's what I used last night. We recently got this cuff. I don't know if I wore it or not, if I just forgot to leave it there. I forgot, I don't know. But it's really cool. I think it's made out of copper. And what else? I'm trying to think of what else that I have left to say. I think that's pretty much it. I know this is a little bit longer than most of my videos, but you know, this is how I have this one set up for this particular time. And they change, they're not always the same. Freddie, get down, please. There he is. Okay, I'm gonna put you in here so you can be happy for a second before we start meowing again. So this is basically it, and this is my working my workspace, and it changes, like I said, over time. I don't always have the same setup, but if you guys want ideas, this is kind of an idea. And you know, there are plenty of videos on YouTube about altar placements and setups if you want to get more precise, but always do what works for you. Not because it's, you know, what you should do. What feels comfortable to you is, you know, what's best. You know, if you're doing it, you're setting it up like someone else and you don't like it, well, then your work is not going to be very good because you don't feel comfortable. So, you know, it's nice to use, you know, that as a guide. I've used guides. This is my entire setup here. I did this all myself. I didn't copy off anyone or anything like that. But, you know, if you do get ideas from people, that's great too, you know. But always, you know, don't feel afraid to put in your own twist on things and do it the way you want to. So I think I'm going to close for now. And this is Omega and Freddie signing off. And I will see you soon and hopefully get some more videos to you. If you like this, please give this a thumbs up. Me and Freddie a thumbs up and subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram. I'm under Wallonian Witch 13, and I will leave that in the descriptions area. I'll write that down. It's quite a mouthful. So I think I have everything included in here. Hope I didn't forget everything or anything. And that's it for now. So I will see you all. This is Omega signing off, and I'll see you at the next video. Say bye, Freddie.